All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to something different. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. It is Buccaneer or Boxcar Buccaneers on Tuesdays. So hopefully everyone's having a good week. Again, something a little bit different, and so we'll talk about what Boxcar Buccaneers is all about, and kind of the way forward with it. Give you a little bit of backstory, and then we'll just kind of go rolling into just like we do a normal Icey podcast I typically do on Fridays. So kind of the whole inspiration behind doing this was that typically the second Friday of the month is the general meeting for the San Antonio Motor Association, which is basically the layout that I do a lot of my shorts on, a lot of my fun run mini videos on. I usually go there Thursday nights and also Saturday Sunday on midday. And so typically I don't stream this week. So when Heath moved over to Wednesdays, I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and experiment with this time slot and see what we can get out of it. And so, I can only do it once a month. And so what that kind of led the opportunity is that we can do something similar to what you guys see for Cab Crew Wednesdays, for Third Rail Thursdays, on Track Tuesdays, and so forth. So, you know what? Let's try something like this. Let's experiment and see what happens. And so I'll be streaming every Tuesday on this, or every second Tuesday of the month for the Boxcar Buccaneers. And where did this name came from? So this name came from several of you guys that kind of brainstormed with me last Friday into, creating a name for this particular crew. And the idea, I thought about the Bad Order crew, something railroad related, and we did a whole stream into, what could we call this? And Papa John suggested something like a pirate thing because, we're typically don't follow typical rules, prototypical rules of model railroading and so forth. We take things to a whole new fantasy level. And Ohio Steam and Steel came up with the idea of I can't remember exactly, something Buccaneers, and so the name Boxcar Buccaneers was born. So we'll experiment, see how that goes, and let me know if you guys like the comment or like the name, like the kind of the theming behind it, and so forth. So with that being said, that means that there are openings to stream on the other days of the month. So the first Tuesday of the month is free at this particular time. We've got the second Tuesday, which is going to be here on this channel. The third week is open, the fourth week is open, and then I finally decided that the fifth week is going to be for guests. And then if we can't find a guest, then we'll rotate between the main Buccaneers of those particular times. So again, something different, something new. We'll build it up and we'll see what happens. So welcome to the first alliteration of the Boxcar Buccaneers. And I figure the train that we should probably run today kind of honors that a little bit. And so kind of the train for today is going to be, let's go ahead and switch over to the showcase. So we'll go ahead and bring it on up here. We've got our Mopac Missouri Pacific Line steamer. And so, you know what? Let me get some of my more colorful box cars. So in honor of the Boxcar Buccaneers, we've got our Missouri Pacific Eagle boxcar. We've got the Rock Island boxcar. We got the Western Pacific Leaf boxcar. We've got a Southern Pacific Lines. We've got the Model Railroader. We've got the Greyhound scheme of UP. We've got the normal UP. We've got the Challenger Gray scheme boxcar from UP. We got M&S. We've got a graffitied New York City boxcar. We got the famous Norfolk Southern gaming controller boxcar. And then we're going to wrap it up with the new Bachmann transfer caboose from MP. So that's what we're going to be running the train around the layout here. So we'll go ahead and get you guys to all the cameras here. And let me go ahead and set this up real quick. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and say hello to our wonderful family here. We've got Randall, hello, how are you? And we got Relfan K as well. Welcome to all those lurkers, to all of those viewers that will be watching this on the replay. Again, thank you so much for all the support. Again, we hit over 4,000 subscribers on the channel. Absolutely crazy. to think about that. We're over that threshold, and man, we're on our way for 2024. So very amazing. Again, that's your guys' achievement. Greatly appreciate every one of your support. So yes, thank you so much. Yeah, I do like this train. It's quite cool. I like it. It's quite colorful too. So I figure for the Boxcar Buccaneers, we'll run a freight train, I think, every third Tuesday. Because, again, I'm more of a passenger type person. I'll admit. I like my passenger trains. But and some specialty trains. But I think we'll mix it up and try to do some freight trains. Because I do have a lot of freight that I don't run. So I need to kind of change that. So I figure, you know what? Let's run a freight train today. So pretty darn cool. So we'll go ahead and go into some pre-order highlights as this train goes around in circles here. So if you are new to my channel, again, I typically stream every Friday evenings at 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time. And typically what we do is we talk about either some news in the railway or into the model railroading community, or we look at some pre-order highlights. And then we'll go into our train of the day, kind of getting all into it right now because, again, for the Boxcar Buccaneers, it's only going to be an hour show because there's a show at so I'm going to use Central Time references. So there's a show that starts at 6, and then there's going to be a show right after this. It's going to be I think the Side Crew second section podcast is going to be on, I believe, this afternoon or this evening. So yeah, this is going to be, again, from 7 U.S. Central Time to 8 U.S. Central Time, and we'll go from there. So a little bit to cram in, but we'll make it work. We will make it work. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about some pre-orders here. Okay, what is going on? Am I still streaming? Okay, I think we're still good. I think my phone is kind of behind. Sweet. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and talk about some pre-orders that was announced over Christmas. So let's take a quick field trip. This one. There we go. Okay, so Scale Trains announced their hyper-prototypical line, which I absolutely respect. I absolutely love. I'm glad that we're getting another manufacturer into the fantasy market, the what-ifs of model railroading. And so we got some diesels here. We got the GE C45, got UP Norfolk Southern. The Ferromex looks really, really good. I kind of like that paint scheme, to be honest. We got CSX here. We got BNSF. We got the Canadian National Wisconsin Central Heritage. We got the Illinois Central Heritage. And then they announced another run of their J's, which is pretty cool. So the EJE Heritage unit as well. So really nice looking locomotives. We also got the BC Rail Heritage as well, which is pretty cool with that red, white, and blue paint scheme here. So I am all about this. I'm excited for Scale Trains to get in this because I'm curious to see what crazy contraptions they come up with, or more importantly, what customers are requesting. Because they're going to take requests really seriously when it comes to their lineup for hypotypical. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So let's see. I think they got some other ones too in freight cars, but for now, those are your diesels. And then another kind of pre-order highlight that I'm really excited for is the GP18s from Athearn Genesis. So these are kind of definitely my top ones. So it was like you pre-ordered the CN 3008s and a 3115. Nice. Very nice. So we got the GP18s from Athearn. We've got the Chicago Northwestern. We got the CCT. We've got Conrail, Northwestern, CBC. The one that I'm really excited for, which is the 1776 bicentennial color scheme. Again, I'm big into the Freedom Train, so this is definitely something that I can add to my consist. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. Let's see here. So we also got some MSRC, Northwestern, CCT, Chicago Northwestern, NAGS, Northwestern, Conrail, and then the other one that I'm trying to pre-order, but Train World doesn't have it available yet, is the Rock GP7. I love the color scheme of the Rock. I've got the Rock train that I'm building up right now. I call it the Smurf train. So we're definitely going to be adding this to our lineup as well when it becomes available to pre-order. So not a bad lineup. We got Southern, and then it goes into their non-DCC/DCC selection. So overall, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So yeah, those are some of our pre-order highlights. I probably won't be doing a video. I'm still kind of debating if I want to do a video on these or not. So I'm kind of mentioning here on the live stream to talk about. But yeah, overall, not too bad. So we'll do some rail fanning for a little bit. The bottom left-hand camera won't be too useful because I had to park the Mopac. So we got the Heritage unit there, 1982, kind of just blocking the view there. I just didn't have enough time to take these off the layout. All right. But yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get over to this view. Coming over the Ghetto Bridge here. So again, kind of different time slot for what I'm normally used to streaming. If you guys are new here, this layout is a Freemo standard. I use Freemo Minimo technically, because it's called Minimo because the modular width is only 12 inches. I still use the electrical of Freemo standards, use the track work of Freemo standards, so I can take one of these modulars off and connect it to another Freemo layout. Let's see, we'll get you guys over here. Each modulars do have their in particular names. So all of the main 3-rail corners that you see, they're called wilding. I purchased these wilding corners from my mentor back in California, and I love these modulars ever since. They're really good. The framework's pretty sturdy, and they make up 3 of my 4 corners. My 4th corner is called Harbor Point. Harbor Point will be kind of a sea theme, and we're going to be building some ships famous from the One Piece anime. So this layout is heavily fantasy themed. There's really nothing prototypical about it. The inspiration is basically, think of it as, watching a train going around the Christmas tree. Literally for Christmas, we had a Christmas tree off to my left and basically had one of the most advanced layouts I've ever had going around a Christmas tree. But basically, where I sit in the computer, the dispatch center, is basically the Christmas tree, basically going around in circles. I'm a big fan of just mini rail fanning is what I like to call it. Other people call it different things. But I just like watching a train go around in circles. And I will do operations, don't get me wrong. I love operations as well. But it's just one of those things that, I got to be in the right mindset for. And so we try to have industries on here. We try to have places that we use card systems, so that way we can actually do operations. Hello, Chuck. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Ohio Steam and Steel. How are you? So today, in celebration of the first Boxcar Buccaneers, we are running a Boxcar train being run by our Mopac steam engine here. And I decided to pick some of the more colorful boxcars. So coming around here on the first wilding turn, you'll see kind of the parade of boxcars that we got. So again, we got that Mopac, Eagle boxcar, we got the Rock, we got the Leaf from Western Pacific, we got Southern Pacific, we've got a model railroader boxcar, 2 UPs, actually 3 UPs, Greyhound, normal Challenger schemes, M&S. We've got the Statue of Liberty, the gaming control, and finally the brand new Bachmann transfer caboose, which I've had no issues with. I've actually kind of liked it. Yeah, it was a little expensive, so I highly recommend if you can get it on sale, don't pay it at MSRP. I just really wanted the caboose because I'm a big fan. If I had to do any railroad to model, like if I had all the money in the world, but the caveat was I can only do one railroad, I would go Missouri Pacific. I love their color scheme. I love the big eagle on the side. I love the color of the passenger trains. And to be honest, I think one of these days we'll probably do like just a small 2 modular switching layout that'll probably just be Mopac dedicated. And yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that one a little bit. All right, so let's talk about a little bit of admin news. So unfortunately, kind of the first big hiccup of 2024 happened. For those of you who are homeowners, we'll get this pain a little bit, but probably I would say one of the top 5 like most expensive things on a home to deal with is the foundation. Yeah, you guys can probably know where I'm going with this. Unfortunately, we have to do some foundational work on this house. And so, unfortunately, as a result, that has eaten up all of our basically funds to travel for this year. So, yeah, we have to bite the bullet on that one. It's just, life happens, and this one was a hard pill to swallow. We kind of knew it was coming, but we finally peeled that Band-Aid off and figured out, okay, what's kind of the damage. And it finally got to the point that, yeah, we gotta fix the foundation. So it is what it is. More than likely, again, timonium's probably not going to happen this year, just because, again, real life situations, unfortunately. But that's what happens. Again, this is just a hobby for me, so we got to put our priorities where we need to. And I'm hoping by next year we'll be in a little bit better situation so we can travel. It's just the reality is, we got to take care of life things first. So yeah, probably not gonna go to any train shows outside of Texas. So we'll still probably go to the 2 New Braunfels train shows. We gotta get. We'll definitely go to Samara. The Samara one in February is coming up, so we'll still be able to do those ones. But Timonium, unfortunately, is canceled for us. But next year we're going to see if we can line up Amherst, because my wife and we really want to go meet all of you. So we're trying to put that as a priority, assuming, knock on wood, that nothing else happens. But it is what it is. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing about Texas. Texas has a soft clay, and so everything shifts, unfortunately. This house is shifting a lot more than normal, so we have to get it fixed. So get it right, and so that way we can, be safe, because eventually we want to, because my job has me traveling everywhere from time to time, every so amount of years, but I really want to settle down here in San Antonio. My wife and I love it. We love SeaWorld. We love the city. We love all of the clubs around here. We have access to 3 clubs here in the area. We've got the Texas Transportation Museum, which we're not a part of yet. That's something that we're waiting off for right now until all the bills get settled. Samara, which you guys have seen a ton of Samara content on. And then a new up and coming that I'm a part of is called Elmendorf. And Elmendorf is just now starting to clear their land. They've got a whole bunch. They got like 11.5 acres in Elmendorf, Texas. And they're going to start basically the groundwork for 7.5 gauge trains, the rideable ones. So I am super, super excited for that. That is a huge opportunity that I cannot wait for. So slowly get involved with that. And I may make a video kind of showing this is what, it looks like before you put in the track. And then I'm trying to figure out my schedule so I can help with the work cycle. So that way you guys can see just what it takes to go from here's a plot of land. And then this is what, the steps to make a 7.5 gauge railroad looks like. So it's great that we're going to have like a mini train mountain in my own backyard. It's crazy to think about that. That's actually coming here. So excited to be a part of that. Yeah, definitely a lot to do, South Texas. I'm happy, and of course we got Dallas. That's right there. There's a big Houston convention that's happening in February. I don't think we're going to be able to do that one, just because it's a little too far right now. And again, with everything going on this year, we kind of just want to have this big bill paid off, and then we never have to worry about it again. The house will be good for many, many, many years to come. Again, we want to rent it out, and eventually, when we're ready to settle, we can come back to it. So it is this is going to give us the foundation that we need for the future, for the content of the channel, for other big projects that I want to do kind of on the side. My wife knows what it is, but I'm kind of keeping a secret right now. We've got some bigger projects planned. So this house is the stepping stone to get there. And that's why we got it, because this whole upper loft area gives me the railroad that I want, so that way we can at least have some fun with the hobby. So yes, I love San Antonio. I love this city. I love it so much. It is easily my favorite city outside of Cheyenne. Cheyenne's probably a strong number two. Cheyenne used to be my number one because of how rich the railroading history is down there, especially with me and transitional era Union Pacific. Originally, that's where I was thinking about settling, but San Antonio is so much better, I think. But with that being said, I do want to make some trips out there. 4014, Colorado Model Railroad Museum, and so forth. So we will get out there. But another thing that we will not cancel either is we still have plans to go see 4014 when it does its Four Corners tour, because it is going to be coming out to Dallas and Houston. So we are going to chase it. That's a big plan that we have. So I'm kind of saving up some time off. We should be able to do that, and I can't wait for the announcement. So I am super excited still. So again, a little bit bad news, but I'm not gonna let that get me down. We'll just have to adjust, and we'll make plans for next year. But I'm excited. I'm excited to start up this, this crew, the Boxcar Buccaneers. Again, if you have aspirations to stream, if you want to stream, the first Tuesday of the month, the third, the fourth, or potentially the fifth, if you just want to be a guest, those slots are open. Just email me at rayronvr at protonmail.com, and we'll just add you to the schedule. But again, I figured there was an opportunity, considering that I can only stream this particular time slot once a week, or once a month. Which also needs to be said that I will not be streaming my normal time this Friday because of the general meeting from San Antonio Motor Railroad Association. So I hear, especially the Riverwalk. I'm planning on doing a Beyond the Icey Railway Riverwalk video on this channel, because I think the Riverwalk can give a lot of inspiration to model railroaders. I plan on having when I ever get to that point where I'm ready to build my second half of my dream layout, because my dream layout is basically half the layout is going to be like a proper layout, but that layout can also connect to my modulars. So one half is permanent, one half is modular. And the reason why I want to do it that way is because I won't get burnt out on being stuck with a permanent layout. The other half, I can constantly swap out scenery, swap out track work. So that way, it gives me unlimited amount of model railroading that I can potentially do. So that is my dream layout. But yeah, in that layout, I want to have a city that's very similar to the Riverwalk of San Antonio. And so with that video, hopefully it gives other people inspiration. So that's in the works. I've had that in the works for a while now. Just time has kept me pushing that video back, and especially with all the mega projects that I had, November, which is now National Model Railroad Month. Then we had the Advent Calendar series, and then we had the Icey Awards. So all of those are back to back to back. So I usually put all my other projects that I edit aside until I got those mega projects done. But now, since those projects are kind of out of the way, I need to go back to editing some of these other videos that kind of got shelved. So yeah, I got a video on that coming out. I finally visited my first home layout, which I didn't even know was here in San Antonio. And I was asking the layout owner, hey, I do this YouTube thing. Can I just, take some photos and video and so forth? And, he gave me permission, so long as I mentioned the actual railroad name. And we were able to do that. So I'm trying to give that layout justice because I was watching the podcast with TSG Multimedia and Ray from Around the Layout podcast. They were talking about like tips and tricks for home layout, video editing, and so forth. And it just made me thinking that I know I didn't do this layout justice. So I'm debating if I'm going to release that or not. It's still kind of on the back burner. But I think I will, just to give it a shot and to learn from it and then go from there. But hello, BCA Parts. How are you, good sir? You got home from your Model Railroading Club meeting. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, ours is on Friday, which is why I'm doing this Boxcar Buccaneer Tuesdays. Kind of do something new or create something new potentially. But I'm excited for this. Really, really excited. So yeah, kind of in honor, we've got our Boxcar train going around. Let's get some more shots here. I'm terrible with names. So, oh my goodness. The name will come to me. The name will come to me. Yeah, all of my photos are on my other computer. I think his first name is Ray too. But it was impressive layouts. Like, it was everything I want this layout to be when it comes to Digitrax. I mean, the owner had an entire separate room that had 3 massive screens for the dispatcher. It had, instead of using helixes, it was an incline based, and it was at some points of the layout it was 3 sections, which was incredible. And so I was able to visit that layout as part of the layout tour from Lone Star Region 6 NMRA division or region. Yeah, Lone Star Region. Let me guess, you were able to do it. Yeah, I thought about slapping together a presentation for I still may do it for my Lone Star Region 6 and have it go towards my MMR. I still have plans and goals to do Master Model Railroader. It was massive. I think the whole story was, your typical, he inherited the house from his parents, and so turned basically the whole living room and the garage into one massive layout. And so I've got video, I've got a lot of photos, I got a lot of shorts ready to go. It's just, again, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to give that layout justice, which I know I didn't give it justice, which I feel bad about, because originally I wasn't planning on going to do content, because I don't know, for me, again, I'm shy. So going to another home layout, how do I give it respect? Do I ask the owner? And it's like, it takes me a lot of courage to get into it. And so I finally ponied up. It's like, hey, I've got a lot of video because I got a lot of cool things. Can I show my YouTube channel? And then the guy asked, "Oh, what's your YouTube channel?" And it's like, "Oh, it's rayronvr." Oh, I've seen that channel. It's like, so it was actually pretty funny. The home owner already knew what the channel was. So I was like, "Oh, that's cool." So yeah, I'm trying to do it justice. I may go back and try to do an interview, and that's the other thing too. Is like I'm debating what I'm gonna do with the footage that I have. If I want to go back and actually interview the homeowner and do kind of a TSG multimedia style video, I don't know, or just give it my own twist. I'm still kind of debating what I want to do with it because I want to give it justice. So not quite sure how I'm gonna do it, or so I do it just like presented here on the live stream. So there's a lot of different angles that I'm debating on what to do on. Yeah, it's what we're all here. Buccaneer Tuesdays. Yep. So standards. Yeah, you've got T track. You've got Freemo. You got NMRA. You've got Fremon, which is the modulars for N scale. You got the what is it? You've got something called bend track. Bend track is typically N scale and Z scale, where one modular has a main line on either edge of the modular. It's not common anymore, but I think Z scale, because ever since N scale went to Fremon and T track, bend track slowly kind of faded away from a popular standard. But Z scale has been taking bend track to the next level, which makes sense because the scale is so small enough that they can actually go ham with it. So, oh, so you guys are doing HO. Nice. Is your club modular, or do they have their own place? Yeah, both Fremo and NMRA HO standards have their unique advantages. With NMRA standard, it is more. Again, this is all in my opinion. The NMRA standard is typically focused on showcasing to the public. Well, you've got the trains really close to the viewing points of the people, and then on the back end of it, you've got a whole bunch of scenery that you can do. Downside to that is the modulars are massive because you got a lot of scenery to deal with. Fremo, on the other hand, you got the main lines going dead center of the modulars, and they're more friendlier towards operations. So if you actually want to do operations, you can access the modular from either side a lot more easier. Nice. Yeah, and that's the thing too. If you're just starting out with clubs, like I first recommend just stay as a club, and then if you find yourself finding a permanent place, then that's when you get into the weeds of okay, we need to establish a 501c3 nonprofit organization because then you got money to deal with and rent and all that. So that kind of drives the need for dues and all that. And that's where if you really want to legally accept dues and everything, then start going down the rabbit hole of creating your own 501c3 and all that jazz. And that's where, unfortunately, the politics start to happen. But if you have a good group of people, it shouldn't be a problem. But it's cool that you're starting up a club there. That's pretty cool. And another thing to think about too is that yeah, there are Fremo, yeah, there are NMRA standards, but you can always modify those standards so long as everyone in the group knows what those standards are. Like for me personally though, I would recommend keeping the track work and the electrical work to one of those particular standards. But as far as modular designs and leg heights of each of those standards, go ham with it. Figure out what works best for you. If you want to keep it low so kids can see the modulars, or if you want to keep it high to do operations. Like, it just depends. I've seen people be creative with their modulars that they have adjustable legs so they can go the full height of Fremo standards, or they can go to the lowest low of NMRA. It's what is the intent that you want to do with the modulars. For me personally, I've always loved modulars because I'm constantly moving thanks to my job. So I need a layout that can easily be set up and torn down. So when I learned that the Fremo mini modulars exist, I knew that's exactly what I needed. And so this is the Icey Railway that you see today. But if yeah, no problem. Absolutely, absolutely. And you can see that I'm experimenting with all sorts of things. Like, you can see over there ish. I've got a clamp to a stick that has a camera, or not camera, a light on it. I'm planning to expand, have modulars connect to these modulars on the sides to give me more industries and scenery. So there's so many different things that you can do, and that's why I love Fremo, because I can interchange it. I love that interchangeability piece to it. But again, the downside is it does require a lot. I think it requires a lot more. How can I say, woodworking abilities, because you really have to measure out your modulars, make sure they're perfect. Especially on turn modulars, corner modulars are like the toughest to do, especially if you don't want the modular to be super heavy. I mean, that's another thing you'll have to look at too. Do you want to do a wood surface? Do you want to do, if you want to do styrofoam? Something else I would highly recommend too, just from all of the club modulars that I've seen, you should have a base roll of 2 main lines. Because I can tell you right now, having 2 main lines is so much easier in the long run, because then you can have 2 trains going in opposite directions. It means that more people can run freely on a modular layout. Trying to have one modular that just has 1 main line, if you don't have plans for operations, it can cause a lot of frustration in club, especially if you have some up and coming newcomers. And it's like you can't, when a person needs a break, you can't just set and forget that train on the layout, because if you have a choke point, that means that every member in the club has to follow the train 100%, because otherwise you'll have a head-on. So some things that I've seen / learned. Now, considering that this is a private layout, I do have a choke point behind me, but I only run 1 train. But I'm hoping in the future to change that, because I do want to run 2 trains on this layout. So yeah, definitely, I would highly recommend modulars that have 2 main lines. And I would also recommend having a modular that can branch off. So that way, those people who just create single track main lines can connect to that turnoff to make an own individual branch line. So that way, those people don't feel left out. It's not necessarily assumed. A lot of people do single track mainlines because if they have operations in mind, then yeah, they have to use signaling. The system for Fremo uses MSS, modular signal system. I have no plans to do MSS, which is why a lot of these modules are going to be branch line anyway if I ever connect these to a bigger Fremo layout. Because I think MSS, I'm not a fan of MSS, but they have started looking into signal modulars. So basically, you have like a 12-foot by a 12-foot little square that has track, and then it has signals on it that they connect in between two modulars. So that way, you don't have to put signals on the bigger modulars. You just put it on the interconnects of them. And that I love that system, because then I don't have to deal with signals on my modulars. But yeah, that's all part of the Freemo stuff. So Freemo, you have the power bus, you have accessory bus, and then you have what's called the MSS bus that deals with the signaling. And like I said, for me personally, I'm doing my own custom signaling system because I'm using 100% Digitrax. But yeah, I always recommend, if you're going to get into modulars, think about the two main lines. Yeah, it is, and you can just Google it. There's been plenty of articles about it, or Freemo signaling systems. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The one thing that I could never figure out is how Freemo uses block detection. Again, that's part of that MSS system. I think what they use is they use BDN 20s. I think it's their current detection from NCE. They use that to do the current detection. But that current detection is isolated to the signals itself. And this is where I think LCC is actually better in a Freemo configuration, because then you can go independent from a computer. So I think if LCC can be sustainable long term, I think LCC is a lot better idea for modulars. My concern, the reason why I'm not getting into LCC right now, I want to stick everything with one system, so I'm using Digitrax. And Digitrax is going to be my custom home layout signaling system. The other concern I have with LCC is just the longevity of sustainability. And what I mean by that is the owner right now, I think, is trying to sell off LCC to a company so that way they can maintain it for the future. You know, I don't want to invest thousands of dollars into a system that, oh, by the way, the owner is not going to do anything because, you know, unfortunately passed away or something. And so I don't want to run into like a DigiKey situation where if you invest so much into DigiKeys and they go bankrupt, now there's no support. So if something breaks, you're SOL. So that's why I'm focusing everything on Digitrax, because I know it's a little bit more sustainable in the future. So, Randall, how are you? Welcome back, good sir. And Split Rock, how are you? Is it Friday already? No. I wish. So basically, the whole point of this Boxcar Buccaneers is that it's very similar to, like, you know, Cab Crew Wednesday, Sidetrack Sunday, all that. I can only stream this particular time slot once a month. So I figured, you know what, there's an opportunity to create another crew with this time slot. So let me just see if there's interest out there. So the first Tuesday of the month, the second Tuesday, I'll be streaming. The third Tuesday is open. The fourth Tuesday is open. And then if there's a random fifth Tuesday, we can bring on special guests if they want to stream that time slot, or be one of the main Buccaneer crew members. So we are launching it with this official stream. Again, it's only going to be like an hour long, so I believe second section. But yeah, we'll keep it to a normal time slot that Heath used to stream. This time slot. And since I can't stream this Friday anyway, I figure it works out. So yes, welcome everyone. And I figure it gives the opportunity for those that can't see me Friday evenings. They get at least 1 day of the month to try to, you know, see me during this stream. So, I appreciate that, Split Rock. Again, I'm trying to figure out my production schedule. I always want to make sure, first and foremost, that when you hit that subscribe button, that you'll get whatever you want to get of the channel. So I figure if you have like some free time, like a minute free time, maybe you're standing in line to get some food or waiting for traffic or whatever, that you can, come to the channel, watch a quick video, and then be on your way. So that's kind of my momentum going forward right now. But it works. I love just the fun run style videos. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Thank you guys so much for watching those videos as well. And -8 overnight. Yeah, it got cold here in Texas too. Definitely got home. So I got permission. So I asked him, hey, was there any limitations that you want to do and so forth? Do you want me to call it and so forth? He said, nope, just go ham, make the video. I look forward to seeing my layout featured on your channel. So it was an honor, and I'm just trying to figure out what style I want to go with. Because I'm trying to follow the TSG recommendations. So I'm trying to figure out my production style to doing home tours, because again, I want to give proper credit, want to give proper etiquette. There's a lot that goes into getting those type of layouts, and I know I didn't do it justice because this is going to be my first one, and so I just need to get it done to figure out the production style, and then get back. I'll do probably like a version 2 of it and then go from there, but I'm taking my time with it. But I think I'm actually going to start working on that video this weekend, since I've got a 4-day weekend coming up. For, I think it's MLK weekend coming up. Yeah, it got cold here in Texas. I mean, let me put it this way. It got Texas cold, which was 30 in the 30s with wind chill. But I know that's like a warm day in freaking Minot, North Dakota. Springfield, Missouri. Nice. Yeah, it got pretty chilly. We had basically that cold front that hit the entire U.S. It came south enough to San Antonio, so we felt it too. Okay. So yeah, I'm enjoying everything here. But yeah, so we got the Mopac steam engine running around with our colorful boxcars in celebration of the Boxcar Buccaneers initial kickoff. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Again, just enjoying the world's greatest sandbox hobby. Yeah, I can't wait to see it, Real Fan K. I think they learned their lesson. No issues so far. But here's another thing. Again, if you're going to do a model railroad, especially for modulars, always have your command station hooked up to a backup battery. That's going to do 2 things for you. One, it will protect the command station when you have surging and chattering going through, and also protects you from power noise as well if you get a good backup battery. So everything here is off of a backup battery. My computer's on a backup battery. I've got my command station connected to the backup battery. All my cameras are now on the backup battery, so it's protected. Can't be losing that equipment. Down to -7. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yeah, been kind of busy with IRL as I stated earlier, dealing with a lot of stuff with the house right now, dealing with foundation issues. So right now, the only videos that are coming out projectively are the fun run videos and obviously my shorts, which is basically one and the same. If you like short format, if you like video format, um, and then I'm not. I think the home layout tour is going to be the next video that I make, as far as edited content. I've also got some more turntable videos that I want to do. A lot of people enjoyed the one from the Bachman MP caboose. So I've got a few things lined up for that. And then something else that I want to do, my mini print, I'm drawing a blank. The whole porta potty mini prints set. I think I want to do a video series of just building that kit together, painting it, weathering it. I've got some, I want to order some Hunterline products to start. I want to practice on buildings and weathering and all that for buildings and so forth. So I'm getting that kind of lined up in the background. Because I know I want to get my hands wet when it comes to that. Split Rock, you should watch my last stream. I went ham on that topic. Yep, last stream. I was disappointed. Like, just to kind of recap it, there's a time and a place for criticizing, and then there's a time and a place for making. There's no place for trolling. Like, oh man, it drove me nuts. Like, I know I have my quirks with scale trains. Like, I bug them a lot for my coal turbine. But again, there's a time and a place to make that suggestion. Like, they have a suggestion box for a reason. And I will admittedly spam it a lot because I want my coal turbine. But seeing the trolling that went down on the scale trains announcement, especially for the hyperprototypical line that they announced, and seeing the comments, oh, it was bad. Like, that was Twitter X comments level bad. I thought I would never see that from, of all communities, this community. But the internet will internet, and whew. Yeah, it was, and not only that, Ray from Around the Layout mentioned it. Michelle was commenting on it. We've highlighted her comments on last week's stream about it. It's like, guys, this is a good thing. My wife and I wanted scale trains to go into the fantasy. If you guys looked at the video that I recorded when scale trains was at Samra, my wife asked a question, hey, are you guys going to get into the fantasy scheme because it's going to bring in a lot of new and up-and-coming model railroaders? And, they were going to look into it. And they actually came out with a fantasy lineup. Like, it was crazy. And again, and this is why when people, man, you guys are going to get me down a rant here. I only got 5 minutes to try to get this rant out. A lot of people say that we should never gatekeep model railroading. I am the minority when I say this, but I think we do need to gatekeep from trolls. And you guys saw it fully on display on Facebook. Like, we don't need those people in model railroading. And some certain level of gatekeeping, unfortunately, needs to happen because of the reality of the world that we have today. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Sadly enough. Yeah, it was disgusting, and I am praising, like, I'm going to promote hypotypical now. It makes me more motivated to showcase hypotypical from scale trains. So that's kind of some more videos that I think I'm going to do, because that's how we counter these trolls. Yeah, definitely bonkers. Yep. And me personally, I'm at the mindset as a creator that, I'm trying to balance work, life, and family. I don't have time to give to these trolls. I'm not going to give them a minute because if I if I give a minute to the trolls, that's a minute that I'm losing to creating the content that I want to make. And if I need to address that type of stuff, I'll address it in a video. I'll address it in a live stream. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, and I don't even want to say that the people that were commenting on there, I don't even want to lump again, 'cause I don't know if they're just trolling because they're trolls or if they're bots or whatever. And I'm not even gonna lump the prototypical modelers into that group either. I think there are absolutely trolls out there that is just trying to cause chaos. Kind of sad, but at the end of the day, you know, we try to have fun. And again, and it's like I get that all the time with my shorts. Like shorts do get a lot of views, and unfortunately, it brings other, flavors of character of people out as well. So it's like, okay, cool, it's whatever. I try not to let it get to me. But again, we're here to have fun and watch trains go around in circles, at least with my channel. Um, and that's what I'm going to continue to promote. And all the mini rail fanning videos that I do. And one of these days, you'll see a hypotypical freight car or diesel on this layout. It's only a matter of time. So. Split Rock, I am just very grateful that there are people like you that understand the memes and can take jokes. I respect you for it. Especially coming from a master model railroader. Like, you'll be surprised how many MMRs in my area don't understand the internet, let alone memes. So, I respect the hell out of you. Well, we are approaching the top of the hour. I know there's another podcast starting at 8. I think it's second section. Let me see if I can grab it here. What makes you different is what I respect about you. So again, you're doing podcast. You see YouTube as you're using YouTube as a tool to get the message out there for model railroading. I love your podcasts when they come out, especially from your NMRA division. Like I soak all that up. Meme warfare is needed. Oh my goodness. Bernard, how are you, good sir? How have you been? How are you? I appreciate that, good sir. And again, I'm only one person on the internet. We've got so many other great people as well. That's what makes this hobby so great, is that it is such a big hobby that not one YouTuber can cover it. And rightfully so. I have my influence over HO, soon to be N-Scale as well. We've got 3 T-Track modulars wired up and got track on it. So get hyped, N-Scalers. It's coming. T-Track's coming. So yes, we got 3 modulars done. They're not scenic or anything, but they are wired, and technically I can plug into a controller, and we're good to go. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to work on another modular right after this stream. Yep, tad chilly. Yeah. Yep. And again, there's just so many scales. There's so many flavors. Of the hobby, like it is great. It is absolutely great, and I'm glad to be part of. I call it the family. Other people call it community. I call it family. So it is fulfilling. It is rewarding, and me personally, that's why I work so hard on this channel. Um, yeah, I'm definitely a workaholic, but I enjoy this. So yeah. That's why you see a lot of videos from me. And I'm sorry if I spam your notifications, spam your feeds, but it's what I do, and I enjoy it. I know some people have an issue with it. Oh well. Oh well. All right, guys. So out of respect to some other channels as well, I know we've got second section is about to start, and they're going to talk about freelance model railroads as they show their story. So I think that's something that should be good. I, and I appreciate that, Chuck. Again, that's you guys. You guys, the Icey family, the Boxcar Buccaneer crew. It's you guys that make all of these achievements. Like, I'm just a random dude enjoying trains going around in circles, watching trains go by. You guys make this happen. That's why we celebrate. That's why we celebrate. Okay. So without further ado, I'm gonna copy this link. Go ahead and let's go say hi to them. Let's go rate them. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a stream. So out of respect to second section, you as well, good sir, Split Rock. No problem. No problem. Again, you'll get the full rant of scale trains from the last stream. I think I tried to cover as best I could. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you not this Friday, but the next following Friday. So thank you guys so much for everything, and I'll see you next Friday.